How do you keep your children from becoming entitled or spoiled due to your wealth?
I just like our kids are not here anymore.
Kids bounced it for this one. They're like, fuck that, Dad. Can I have the Lambo? Where are the Lambo keys? Dad, can I go drive the Lambo? So how do you keep your children from becoming entitled or spoiled due to your wealth?
I would say that something that you and I do is we have always, or we're really good at, I don't know if we've always done it, but we're really good at involving our children in our, the building of our empire.
Yeah.
I did it when I was single. You did it when you were single. We do it together as a family now. Like, we really involve the kids to the point of, like, they understand the wins, they understand the losses. Like, they're really exposed in a way that, like, is educational. So, and also they work for us. Mm-hmm. So they get to see, like, the day-to-day process of building a company. And I think with that is, you know, we give them a paycheck and we give them resources to be successful, but our children don't have trust funds. They don't drive Lamborghinis when they're 16.
Know about.
I know, right?
Well,
you know,
my son technically drives a Lamborghini at 15.
Once in a while. Okay, he doesn't drive because he doesn't even have a driver's license. So, but you know, it's like we give our kids cars, but then then they pay the insurance and they pay the repairs and things of that nature. So we give them the the foundation of what that looks like, and let them build upon that. Yeah. And so,
I want to take a different angle on this, and this might tickle a couple people wrong, and I don't really care about that.
You don't do that.
But let me explain something. I got a couple friends who are trust fund babies, and what I mean by that is their fathers were incredibly fucking wealthy and gave them pretty much from the time they were in high school millions of dollars, right? Mm-hmm. I know all these kids. There's a handful of kids in this specific family that I'm talking about, and they're all good kids. They're all now husbands and fathers and leading good lives and doing good things. I think there's a really, really, really big misconception around wealth and helping your kids and giving your kids shit and this entitlement thing, right? Mm-hmm. I don't want my kids to struggle. I want my kids to work hard, but there's a big difference between having your child work hard like my son does in my warehouse, packing fucking boxes for 8 hours a day, and struggling. I don't need to put my kid out on the street and have them starving and begging for fucking food to try and teach them humility. I think it's all bullshit. And what I would caution people on is you know, when you don't have very much, or when you're looking at somebody with envy, you're especially somebody who has some money or some wealth, you typically judge and go, oh, those snotty ass little kids. If you've ever met my kids, they're tremendous fucking human beings. Mm-hmm. And I don't know anybody that would say otherwise about my children. In fact, I get my kids win these awards in school about being like good, like contributing like men and women of society. Like I have messages from teachers that are like, talk about my son being so fucking gracious and saying yes please and thank you and yes sir and ma'am and these things. And that goes a long way. In my opinion, that's the root of what we're teaching our children. I'm teaching my sons to be as young men. I want my kids to fucking win. I want to give my kids as much of an advantage as humanly possible. I want to give my kid a leg up. My kid's 15 years old, and he drives my Lamborghini. I'm in it, of course. But why would I not want my children to have a leg up? And I want to make sure that people fucking get really clear on this, that, you know, just because someone's got money doesn't necessarily mean that their kids are going to turn out to be these entitled little shitheads, right? Mm-hmm. I know way more people that have wealth, that have amazing children, than some billionaire's kid who's a, you know, some junkie, right? That's headline news. You see that shit on TMZ. You read those stories far more often about some rich guy's kid who's a fucking junkie. I know way more wealthy families that have really good, solid children than the fucking junkies. And so for me, I want my kids to have as much of an opportunity, as much of a hand up, not hand out, as humanly possible. And if you're a mom or a dad and you think otherwise, you need to change your way of thinking. Because if you want your children to do something different than what you did, you're going to have to fucking do that first. I didn't grow up with money. I grew up with a single mom who worked 2 fucking jobs. You didn't grow up with a whole bunch of money around you. You knew people that had money, but the truth is, like, I want my children to be good human beings, and that means getting them involved in my world, getting them involved in my business, driving my Lamborghini, racing the Baja 500, racing the Baja 1000, having cool shit that they have to take care of. My son's got a dirt bike. He's got to take care of that dirt bike and change the oil, and he gains appreciation for that. Did I buy him a dirt bike? Fuck yeah, I bought him a dirt bike. Why? Because I like to ride dirt bikes, and I'll ride dirt bikes with my kid. So this idea that somehow, some way money is going to ruin your kids is a fucking lie. It's complete bullshit, and I strongly encourage everybody listening into this to make a fuck ton of money and to bring your kids into your fuck ton of money world to show them not only what's possible, but how to be a good contributing member of society with a fuck ton of money.
I agree. It's mindset.
Amen.